It's not about the talk. It's about the connections we have that transform our businesses, workplaces, and relationships through active and deep listening. Hello folks, Richard Fontenay here, and welcome to another episode of Coaching Talks. This is where we focus on real tools that drive change in business, work, and in our lives. I'm excited that you're here today because today's topic seems simple, but it's often misunderstood and underutilized. And we're talking about the art of active and deep listening. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you felt truly heard? Not just nodded at, not just tolerated, but actually deeply listened to. Now flip that around. When was the last time you offered or someone that same gift? Now here's the truth, folks. Most people don't listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. But if you want to act as a coach or a leader or influence people, then this must change. Now here's a quote from M. Scott Peck that should anchor what our talk is all about today. Quote, "You cannot truly listen to anyone and do anything else at the same time." End of quote. Or how about this statistic? According to a study of the International Listening Association, people spend about 45% of their communication time listening, but only retain about 25% of what they hear. Now, there's a huge gap between hearing and understanding. Today, let's explore how to change all that. Here are the 4 key points I'll discuss that will allow you to master the art of active and deep listening. 1, listening is a decisive action and not something passive. 2, listening is being fully engaged. 3, deep listening is listening to what is not being said. And number 4, listening, and active listening, really means being self-aware. Now, let's move to number 1. Listening is a powerful action and not something that is passive. Now, listening isn't just sitting silently. It's leaning in. It's being present. In business, leaders who listen well build more trust and inspire better performance. In life, deep listening is a gift that deepens connection and empathy. Now here's a story about a manager struggling with team morale. She believed her team wasn't performing because they lacked drive. But when she paused to actively listen to them without interrupting, she discovered they were overwhelmed and really not unmotivated. Now, that moment helped her shift her leadership style, and the team's performance began to improve. Number 2, active listening means you must be fully engaged. Now, active listening involves eye contact, nodding, paraphrasing, and asking follow-up questions. It tells the speaker, "I'm with you." Now, in the workplace, active listening during difficult conversations can diffuse tension and build mutual respect. And in our personal lives, it tells those that you love them and that love really matters. Now these days our eyes are on our cell phones rather than on those that we are talking with. This reminds me of someone who said, "My boss listens with her eyes but responds with her inbox." Now think about that for a minute. That image says it all. You know, people do notice when we're not listening. And number 3, deep listening means hearing what's not being said. Deep listening goes beyond the words. It tunes into tone, emotion, energy, and pauses. It's about noticing discomfort, the sigh before the sentence, or what someone didn't say. And that, my friends, is where emotional intelligence comes in. An owner I once coached said he felt lonely and found it challenging to be at the top of his game. On the surface, everything appeared fine. He delivered, and he delivered the results, and he led well. However, when I listened closely, I sensed emotional exhaustion beneath his words. That insight opened the door to what was really bothering him: a lack of integration between his work and his life. He wanted to spend more time with his young family. And once we worked through his concern and found ways for him to do just that, he was fine. Number 4, listening requires self-awareness. Now, to listen well, you have to manage your own inner dialogue. If your mind is fixed on something, providing advice, you're really not listening, you're rehearsing. So here's a tip for you. In your next conversation, mentally repeat the words as you hear them spoken. This anchors your focus in the moment and silences your inner voice. Now here are applications for business, workplace, and life. In business, clients don't just buy your product, they buy the feeling of being heard. And for instance, listening is a qualitative advantage in sales, consulting, and in leadership roles. In the workplace, if you want better team collaboration, fewer understandings, and lower turnover, then actively listen. Active listening fosters psychological safety, a crucial factor for innovation and employee retention. In life, listening is love in action. And to learn more about love in action, listen to our podcast on this same topic. I provided the link below. Now, an old axiom goes something like this: in relationships, friendships, and parenting, how we listen shapes how we're trusted. And here's another thing to consider, especially if you often try to fix things in your relationship. In your relationships, focus on one thing. Stop fixing and start listening. You'll discover that many people close to you really don't seek solutions. They desire connection. And that's the power of deep listening. So, how do we fix all of this? Well, here's the challenge. This week, don't just hear, listen. Whether that's in a team meeting, a coaching session, or talking to your kids, practice the art of active and deep listening. And here are 4 things you can do this week. Number 1, you can put your phone down and silence the urge to reply and tune in with your full presence. Number 2, For your next conversation, ask a follow-up question before responding. And number 3, repeat what you've heard and ask, did I get that right? And number 4, reflect after a conversation and ask yourself, did I listen or just wait to speak? You know, listening isn't just a soft skill. It's really a strategic element. Now, thank you for tuning in to Coaching Talks, folks. And if you found this episode valuable, subscribe, share it with someone who needs it, and drop a comment. Your support keeps these conversations going. And remember, sometimes the most powerful thing that you can do is say nothing at all. Next Wednesday, we'll discuss how to have a difficult conversation. I hope you can join us. I'm Richard Fontenay, signing off for now. See you next Wednesday, if not before. Bye now.